And it had nothing to do with how I was going to do it. It was about me, the who of being open to new ideas, to being willing to change, to being willing to focus on what comes next in my life. Hi, I'm Jay, a certified life coach and former educator who believes that rediscovering ourselves takes just a little bit of courage. This show is focused on helping you develop the mindset and the courage to regain your confidence, to redefine yourself, and to reimagine your life, one episode at a time. Hello, my positivity posse, and welcome to another edition of Positivity Fire. I'm so excited that you're with me today, and whatever you're doing, wherever you are, just know that I'm grateful that you're here because you are building the mindset, you're building the courage to make change in your life, and we're doing it just one episode at a time, and that's exciting. I'm excited for you. And today's episode, we're talking about it's not how, it's who. And I know, you're saying to yourself, Jay, what the hell does that mean? It's not how, it's who. Well, if you're looking to make a change in your life, if you're looking to do something different, if you're looking to be more positive, if you're looking to lose weight, stop smoking, have better relationships, know your kids better, whatever it may be, you're searching for a how. You've been searching for a how. It's possibly why you're listening to this podcast, is that you're looking for a how. How do I lose weight? Do I do this diet? Do I jump on this fad? Do I take these pills? Do I exercise? You're looking for a how. If you're looking to stop smoking, do you get hypnotized? How do I do it? Do I get the chewables? How do I do it? Where do I get the prescription? If you're looking to have better relationships in your life, you're listening to shows, you're reading books, you're watching TV, you're looking for someone to tell you how to do it, I'm here to tell you, my friends, it's not the how. That's not the first step in the process. If you are looking to make any sort of significant change in your life, it's not the how. That doesn't come first. The how comes second. The who comes first. I'm not talking about your friendly neighborhood owl, the who. Just made myself laugh there. No, the who is you. Who are you? Who is you? Okay, so it's your time to focus on yourself. It's not the how. It's not the step-by-step. It's not the little booklet. It's not the medication. It's not the program. It's not the money that you're going to keep dumping into those things. And that's fine. But you've got to do you first. It's the who. And when you begin to have the mindset of it's the who, not the how as your default starting point, it opens up so many bigger things for you than you could do by yourself, right? You can start to focus on what really matters. You can become better at what really matters the moment that you focus on the who as your mindset. And what do I mean by that? So I posted recently about my own journey. You can see it everywhere. It's on my website, jasonramsden.com. I've journaled it elsewhere on my Instagram account. There are, portions of it on TikTok. I'm out there putting it out there for people to learn about how you move from self-doubt and a lack of confidence to becoming confident and being full of knowledge that you can achieve whatever you want to achieve. But it's when you stop talking about the how and you start thinking about the who. So for me, that goes all the way back to January of 2021 when I started to get coaching myself. When I was on this journey, I needed to figure out a life transition and a move and what life was going to be different like for me. I was leaving an entire past behind, and I needed to unravel. What did that mean? Like, how do you let go and move on? And then how do you kind of jump into the new moment? And it had nothing to do with how do you do it. It had everything to do with the who, with me, and getting my mind right before I could dive into how to do it. And so, I hired a coach myself. I had a coach from January to August, and then I went and got another coach because I was at a different stage and I felt like I needed a different process, like I needed a mentor, and started working with them in September until now. And I'm still working with them. I'm going to be working with them for a while, because when you work on yourself, the who, not the how, when you work on the who, then the how becomes so much easier. So much easier. So why am I even bothering to share this with you? Because it's an important point to make, is that I started this journey. Like, if you've been listening to this podcast from the very beginning, you know it started in December of 2020. That was for me. I encapsulated an entire year of a journey, not for you, for me, for the who, so I could figure out how to become the person that I am right now. So I journaled it. It was a lot about me. Now I'm flipping it around a little bit to help you focus even more on to take the next steps in your life. So what have the coaches done for me? Well, here's what they've done for me. They've helped me remove limiting beliefs. They've helped me learn, well, in the first case, when I was in the transition phase, my coach helped me understand about transitions better, how to say goodbye, how to move on, and I'm saying how, but because we worked on the who I was as a person. I said a lot of times that I had a hard time with when people would say thank you. I know that seems silly, but when they would say thank you or give me a compliment about the work that I was doing, I had a hard time just saying thank you. That was me. That was the who. But when she put it in context of when you rob people of the gift of wanting to tell you thank you for something or to compliment you, that's a problem. It's you that's holding out the problem. And as soon as you figure that out, then you can move towards the how of you just accept it. You accept it. You learn to say thank you and you move forward. She also helped me with focusing a little bit on transitions, like next steps, goal setting, focusing on what's coming down the pike. And it had nothing to do with how I was going to do it. It was about me, the who of being open to new ideas, to being willing to change, to being willing to focus on what comes next in my life. And the same is true for you, right? We're not talking about how you're going to do it. That's not how, okay? The how is so hard. The how is why you don't make change in your life. The how is the next step. The who is first. You got to get your mindset right. And I've learned that even more so working with my mentor coach. And she's helping me work through things like confidence and self-value and worth and limiting beliefs. And limiting beliefs are just, it's coach speak for like being stuck in your own crap. Literally, like being stuck where you are in this moment in time, not being able to move forward because you are thinking something. Okay. You're thinking something. So it's not how to move forward. It's in your head. Okay. There is a circumstance, a moment. It's a truth. It's a fact, whatever it is. There's a circumstance that's in your life that's keeping you from moving forward. It's unchangeable. Okay. Circumstances are things that you don't change. It just is. It is what it is. But what you can change is your thoughts about it. Because whenever there's a circumstance and you have a negative thought about that circumstance, that evokes feelings, right? That evokes feelings inside of you that take you down paths that you don't want to go down. And then those feelings in turn create actions by you. Okay, we're still focused on the who, not the how. Create actions by you that then create the results that if you look at them really, really closely, just tie back to what you were thinking. So here's a perfect example of that. I'm on a journey to be healthier with the way that I eat. And that may be the case for you. We'll use that as an example. So when you get out of whack with your eating, when you can't stop, you've gained weight, you don't feel good about yourself, you hate to look in the mirror, you're not sure of what the next step is, what the how is, it's in your mindset. And here's what I mean by that. The circumstance is you're overweight. It's a fact. It's not arguable, right? You're at a certain weight and it's higher than what you should be. And we'll talk about should versus could too, but it's what it should be. What happens when you're at that point? Then you have a thought. You have a thought about it. And your thought is, I'm unattractive. I'm tired all the time. I can't work out. You have these thoughts tied to the circumstance, which can't change, right? It is what it is. I mean, it can change, but it is what it is in the moment. You have a thought about it, which then creates these feelings of, I'm no good. I'm ugly. No one will love me. Just you spiral, right? You spiral through whatever it is in your thoughts, right? Those thoughts create feelings of self-doubt, of a lack of worth, of not wanting to go out, of being ashamed. And then what do? You eat more, right? You eat more because you want to comfort yourself. You want to do what you feel is right to protect yourself. And as soon as you do that, the results are you don't lose weight. I'm using that as an example. It may not be specifically what you're going through right now, but as an example of there are circumstances and how you think about them is what determines your results. So very intentional thoughts garner intentional results. And that is where the who comes in. When you can change your mindset around taking better care of yourself in this case, or stopping smoking, or having better relationships, or making more money in your business, or becoming the leader that you want to become, it all ties into not how do you do it. Think back to school. Kids right now, you may have been, it's like, how do I get the A? No, it's who do you have to become to get the A? Who do you have to be? What does your mindset have to be to earn the A? Perhaps that may be a better example, is something that helps put it in context for you a little bit easier, is that when you consider it's you, that it's not the steps that need to be taken, it's you. It's freedom. The freedom that you get from discovering that it's the who, not the how. Because as soon as you discover the how becomes incredibly easy to accomplish. Or I may have overstated that. Incredibly easy is not necessarily what I wanted to say in that moment, because it's not easy, right? It's work, right? Everything that you do in your life to work on you takes time. There is patience. You need to give yourself grace. For every step forward, there's going to be 2 steps back. For every 2 steps forward, there may be 3 steps back. This is not, and when I say this, life and working on you is not a series of wins only. Wins and losses, and you need to look at them together as a whole, okay? When you focus on the who, when you focus on yourself, there are things that you can do to help you move forward. You can work on coaching yourself. And so what does that look like? Like, in order to help you shift the limiting beliefs in your life, and again, limiting beliefs are just thoughts. They're thoughts that you believe about you, that you believe about your life. So things that you can do to limit those are, one, you can just pause, just stop in the moment and reflect. Like, what is it going on right now? Why are you feeling fearful of making change in your life? Why are you resistant to whatever activities are around the how, right? That's when we fail, right? When we don't take time to look at the how, the activity that we're doing. So let's say we join a weight loss program. We'll keep it to weight loss. If join a weight loss program and you continually fail at it, you don't get the results that you want. Do you ever stop and reflect on why that is, right? Do you become aware that you are probably most likely in a really low mood thinking state? No, do it. Put it on a piece of paper, right? Put a C for like the circumstance. Put a T for thought. Put an F for feeling. Put an A for action. Put an R for result. Okay. The circumstance is, in this particular case, not making progress. Okay? What comes up for you when that happens? Okay, that's your thought. What comes up for you? How do you feel about that? And then in turn, what happens? And then what are your results? It's I know it seems kind of like something that, oh, well, how do I make this work? Like, you don't make it work per se, but you have to stop and reflect on what it is that's holding you back. And once you do that, like once you understand what's holding you back, what you come to realize is that you start to see that your thoughts maybe aren't the truth. Like when you take time to write down your thoughts, when you pause and reflect on maybe why something isn't going right in our life, and we don't do this very often, right? People just get spiraled in their thoughts, which takes them down paths they really shouldn't be going down. But when you take the time to do like a thought download and you write them all down on a piece of paper, and then you try and identify the things that are lies that you're telling yourself, they're stories that you're making up of why you can't move forward, why you can't make change, why you can't lose weight, why you can't commit to being in a better relationship. The why. Like once you understand that perhaps you've created some stories in your lives, that gives meaning to the events. But what you need to remember is that is not the truth about you. Seriously, it is not the truth about you. When you believe what you believe about yourself, it becomes the truth, but it is not the truth. Okay, make sure that you understand that that's a very clear distinction. And how you can do that is to look for evidence. Okay? Look for evidence. And what I mean by that is that be aware of this, okay? When you get into thoughts, when you get into negative thoughts about making change in your life, like be aware that you do have the power to turn that around. You have the power to take the stories, we'll call them lies, right? You're really lying to yourself when you want to say that you can't make change, because you can. I've seen it. I've done it. So I know. So when you know that you can flip it around into truths by looking for evidence that is the opposite of what you believe about yourself, it's the opposite of what you believe about yourself, then you begin to work on the who. Now, when you do that, right, when you get to this point of telling yourself more positive thoughts, the next step in the process is and I'm going to be brutally honest with you right here, right now, is that stop blaming other people. Stop blaming other people. Stop blaming the outside world for your results. Everything that you do, it's not the how, it's not the other people in your lives, it's you. It's the who. You are the only person who is responsible for, in charge of, in control of your thoughts and your life. It's as simple as that. When you start to think about your life that way, that I'm in charge, I control what I think, I control what I feel. Okay? So take anxiety or being stressed. We'll take stressed because a lot of people are probably stressed at this moment in the world. If you're feeling stressed, that is basically what they call low mood thinking. Low mood thinking. You're feeling stressed. Like a thought is just a thought. A feeling is just a feeling. They're not the truth about you. They're not. They're not the truth about you. So when you are feeling stressed and you start to work on looking at what you're telling yourself around the stress, okay, when you work through it, when you really examine it, when you put your thoughts down on paper, look for the evidence. Look for the evidence. Is it a real, solid, truthful fact? Or is it just something that you're telling yourself that is making you stressed? Do the work. I mean, stop this podcast, press it on pause, do a download of everything you're thinking about right now in this moment. Right now in this moment, and do the work. I'll be here. I'll be waiting for you. Okay. So the last step in this process is to talk to someone about your thoughts and feelings. And I know that is a difficult thing to think about. I have never been one to ask for help. It actually caused me to lose my first opportunity in the entrepreneurial space. I was approached by a good friend and partner to start a venture. I couldn't commit. I was having limiting beliefs. I was having issues with what was happening, and I couldn't juggle it all because I was in a full-time job and trying to launch something during the middle of COVID, and I didn't ask for help. I didn't. And it cost me working in that venture. Like, it didn't get very far very fast because the other person was looking for a partner, and I wasn't coming to the table that way because I wasn't asking for help. Okay. So you need to talk to somebody about your limiting beliefs. Like, if you want to change your old thought patterns, if you want to change the stories that you tell yourself that limit you from moving forward, if you want to have new, strong, powerful beliefs and thoughts about yourself, if you want to live in a life full of inspiration, full of joy, full of flow, you got to get somebody who can help you with your limiting beliefs. You have to seek out the help to make it happen. You can't do it by yourself. I tried from September to December of 2020, and I quickly learned that everything that was coming up for me, I just kept pushing back down. But when I started working with my coaches, that is when life changed for me. I was able to embrace a new narrative about myself. I was able to have thoughts about what I could accomplish in this world. I was able to see the value that I provided in this world. And let me tell you, it changes your life when you stop thinking about the how first and you start thinking about the who. As soon as you fix the who, you can work the hows. And that is a gift, my friends, an incredible gift. All right, my friends, thank you so much for joining me today. As always, your gift of time does mean the world to me. Thank you for tuning in. If you know someone who could benefit from today's show, if you know someone who could benefit from this podcast, please share. We don't do any advertising. This show grows through word of mouth only. So whatever you can do to spread the word on social and in your networks, I would appreciate it greatly. And until the next time, my friends, be well, be happy, be you, and keep doing the work. One day at a time. Hey, Positivity Posse. If you're ready to coach yourself, I invite you to download my free workbook, 7 Steps to Regain, Redefine, and Reimagine Your Life. Head over to www.jasonramsden.com/my-links and click on the download link at the top of the page. It's that simple. And hey, if you're interested in working with me as your own personal life coach, visit jasonramsden.com and click Get Started in the upper right corner of the screen. I hope to talk to you soon. Until then, have an amazing day. Positivity on Fire is a production of Impact One Media LLC, all rights reserved.